Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What an honor it is to be here today. I'm going to give us a little second because I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I hope all is well for everyone. I've got a whole jam packed uh, 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 little something for us today. It is the first of the year. And when I said that, it made me think about is that Bone that sings that? It's the first of the month. Yeah, somebody. But it is definitely January, uh, January 1st. And I know some of you hopefully are winding down your stuff and things for the year or picking up your stuff and things for the year. But like, look, I don't be waiting on no first and nothing to start nothing. So we gonna get at it. Good morning. It is such an honor to see you guys today. I'm gonna jump right into it because I got a lot. I just for situational awareness. Um, I'll get into this. So, good morning, certified doers. This is the morning due for certified doers just like you. I am grateful to be here with you. This space matters to me. And for those of you all who are joining us, who are new, welcome. Again, morning due for certified doers just like you. This is where we don't just talk about the world as it is. We talk about what it demands of us, and then what we can actually do about it. I'm Delegate Jackie Hope Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District, honored to serve. And I'm one of those legislators that I be serving and running and doing all the things at the same time. So listen, hold that in hands for yourself too. What are your identities? Um, so before we go anywhere, like I always do, I want to always allow myself, and I hope you would allow me to offer gratitude. Gratitude for your time, for your attention, and for your willingness to sit with me, to actually sit with things that are both complex, complicated, and very necessary. Uh, it is showing up like this. This is a form of service. So when you come to this every Thursday or the Thursday you can, you come back and watch the replay. This is a form of showing up. Showing up like this is a form of service. Okay. I just wanted to hold that space for you. But now today, let me actually go to the podcast. Good morning, Colleen. Good morning, Virginia Beach. Listen, always willing to connect. Happy New Year. Uh, Warrior from the Muddy Water says, Happy New Year. I still think the new year starts spring. Listen, because that schedule be having you all over the place. I imagine, I imagine that you are jam packed. All right, you're jam packed, and that is why some of you know that I have a background. I was in the Navy for a little under 11 years, and I was a naval cryptologist. I specialize in ELINT or electronic intelligence, right? In intelligence, y'all. And this is y'all, I need y'all to lean in on this conversation we're going to have today, because I'm hoping it will help you understand better our responsibility on the global aspects of things. Because I fear that we are walking ourselves into another space and place where y'all, we might be doing things that y'all didn't expect, or that we did expect. Good morning, happy new year, doers. I say that to you, David James, as well. So listen here, right? I need you to take a seat. Not, I need everybody to take a seat, but not physically, mentally. Because today, this morning dew is like, this is not background noise morning dew where you're sitting and you're doing other things. This is come to the classroom, come to the porch morning dew. Because I really want all the doers to be able to understand geopolitics, especially right now. So we're going to talk about geopolitics. We're going to talk about the great power competition. We're going to talk about adversaries and actually how we got where we are, because there's definitely a sense of we're going somewhere. And I really want to talk about it specifically, why this matters to Virginia. Even though we're going into the legislative session, I know that I can get really distracted. You can get really distracted. but I want us to really be clear about what's happening in the world. Okay. So are y'all ready to take a seat mentally to whole thing? As I said before, I go for context. My past life, I was an enlisted cryptologist, and again, that it doesn't mean that I know all things intelligence. It doesn't mean that I walk around with all the secrets of the world. It just means my responsibility was signals, patterns, and building a picture. And that's what I want you to hold into. My job was never to know everything. My job was to understand how to connect pieces, right? How to put the things together. So what I do want to acknowledge is that what we're talking about today, somebody pushed this to me. I have a shipmate. His name is BZ. He's in the Hampton Roads area. He is one of the best accountability friends that I've ever had. And I actually need to call him. He's texted me a couple of times, but this is the busiest season of the year. But he has been at my neck respectfully for a while, asking, why aren't you talking about geopolitics? Why aren't you talking about what's happening? You need to know why. Regular people need to understand why they should care. And I just want to say to BZ, I see you. You were right to push. And this morning dew is specifically for you, right? So let me answer the question that you all need to probably know. What's in it for you? If you hear the word geopolitics and your brain checks out, like I get it, you don't know, like but geopolitics, it shows up as very real things. And I need you to say that to yourself. Geopolitics. It's everything real. It is your lights staying on. It is your water staying clean. It is your internet working, your groceries arriving, your job staying stable. Geopolitics, it's not this great graduate seminar, which is why I'm doing this today. It is the environment as we live in itself. It's the environment. So I'm going to say that again. Geopolitics, it's not a graduate seminar. It is the environment. I'm going to go to the comments because I see them sort of coming up. Good morning. YouTube is so weird. I don't know why the weirdest people come on here and do weird stuff. Let me turn this off. Yes, David James says, Happy New Year's duties. Oh, nice. America gets the Western Hemisphere. Russia, Russia, Europe, and China East. Some seems how it's going. Yeah. Military operations, South America looks to be a first step. And that's kind of why I want you all to have this very clear understanding of what is and why it's what's in it for you, right? That is the important piece. It is all the things. Geopolitics is all the things. Geopolitics is how power moves through geography, right? How the power, and I like the way David James just said that. Thank you for saying that on live. Like who gets what? Who gets pieces of the pie? It is how nations compete over trade routes, energy, technology, alliances, military posture, and right now, information. Information's a huge piece of it. Now, geopolitics, or not geopolitics, geography still matters. So if you're not a person that's into geography or haven't, it matters. But the battlefield of geography, the battlefield that we're on has completely expanded. It's digital, it's emotional, it's narrative, right? It's all of these things. So while understanding the lines, the lines between Virginia and North Carolina matter, and West Virginia, that geography matters. But because we are in a digital age, because we are emotionally driven, and because it is about what we know, we have a huge battlefield that isn't just about guns and ships and boots on the ground, right? It's huge. So let me break down let me sort of break down what the great power competition is, right? So listen, lean in, all right? This is a major part. And again, shout out to BC. This is a major part of understanding geopolitics. So we have this thing, and you can Google it. I'm not making stuff up here. We have this thing called the great power competition. The great power competition is when major powers stop competing politely and start competing permanently, right? So it's when we're not looking at diplomacy, we want the end all, bend all. We want what we want. That's it, total domination, and that is everywhere, all at once. And it is not just, it's not missiles, simply like, again, boots on the ground. It's money, it's chips, it's shipping, it's cyber, it's pressure. And to be fair with y'all, it is not coming. It is where we are right now. Okay. So how the hell did we get here? That's the important part of understanding. It's like, how did we even get here? Let's start with the Cold War. That was an external fight, right? Some of you all were around for the Cold War. You understand it. And if you don't know what the Cold War is, just take the time, just take a second and look at some of these things, because what happens is if you get to understand history, this seems a lot less chaotic and more like warning signals for you. So the Cold War, there was external fighting. Post 9/11, this is where fear was the total currency. It's why we have the Patriot Act right now, why we've given up so many of our civil liberties, because of the fear caused by 9/11. That was the currency. Now, bridging off of that fear being currency, we now have social media. This is where perception moves faster than facts, right? Adversaries, they have realized that they don't need to outgun us. They don't got to have a bigger Navy. They don't got to have a bigger Army. They don't have to have a bigger Air Force. They don't need to outgun us. They can out confuse us. So they weaponize perception. And I'll say this, that I spent a little bit of time, and I think if you've been on here a little bit, in working on perception management. As when I got pregnant, came off the boat a year early and got sent to this node where I worked in perception management. That's all it was, is what is the perception? What are we making? It's a whole thing. I just want y'all to understand that this is a pattern to reveal. Okay, like this is a pattern. So they don't have to outgun us. They can out confuse us. And so they weaponize perception. Got it, guys? You guys got that? And here's the deal. As a legislator, what I know is that policy alone is not enough. It's not going to be policy enough. If you don't understand the terrain, you cannot defend it. Does that make sense? If you can't defend what you don't understand. And so the terrain now is what people believe, what they fear, and then repeat that. What people believe, what they fear, and repeat that. So they don't need to change our laws. They just need to change our minds. Okay? And so our adversaries, and I see some stuff in the chat. Let me look. David, you're exactly, it's intelligence war. The great wall fell from within. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you. I appreciate the sentiments online. I appreciate you. So again, this is not a policy. And as a politician, right, as a state level politician, I understand that, like, change the policies how you want. It is about changing people's minds right now. So publicly, if you're watching, assessments are clear. China and Russia are the primary strategic competitors. Okay. You've got Iran and North Korea. They kind of play a role in just destabilizing. So they have destabilizing roles, like make the ground uneasy, right? But China and Russia are the primary strategic competitors that we have. Goals are different, but the understanding is the same between all of them. Let me say this again. Their total goals are very different, but their understanding is the same. And I want you to hold this. This is what they understand, what they know to be true. A divided America is easier to weaken. When you divide America, you can cut her. You're only as strong as your needs. So a divided America is easier to weaken. And that is where they're hitting us at. Not only that, my concern always lands not just in the perception management parts of things, but this is where my concern lands very firmly. They understand that if they can divide the way that we're thinking, right, they can out process us. They can then take it a step up towards our critical infrastructure, and that is our power, that is our water, that is our ports, that is our telecommunication, that is our hospitals, that is our data. And in a world where there's a great power competition, infrastructure is never neutral. The things that it's never neutral. Okay. Again, this is not boots on ground. What I need you all to understand right now for context for current context, Ukraine remains at war. Taiwan is under pressure. Undersea cables are being investigated for damage. Shipping routes are still unstable. So all of these things that we're talking about, these are not distant things. They're all connected. And you may think, like, what does the war in what does the Ukrainian war have to do with shipping routes and have to do with Taiwan? These things are all connected. I don't have like the bandwidth to do all of the background, but I want you all to understand what we're walking towards. There is a lot of currency in us being stupid. And I don't want to say, let me not say stupid. There's a lot of currency in the ignorance of Americans, in the sense of American exceptionalism is what has kept us from connecting dots and understanding the world as it is so that we can do better for ourselves. And that's real. Okay. So the thing where I come in as a state level legislator, one is I'm always concerned about being a soft target, about my colleagues being soft targets and all these things, right? Being able to be manipulated in a way that we don't even know with our power, with my voice, right? With this, that my voice with this is a part of the power. And that is, I could become a non-credible messenger. And I'll talk a little bit about that too, what doers can do. But the most important thing, not only is my role as someone who has some influence, power and influence, but is understanding that Virginia in this particular space is not on the sidelines. Virginia is actually a very strategic node, right? A hub. We've got the military, we've got trade, we've got data. I need us to understand this. This is why I get antsy. It's because Virginia we are so important to the geopolitical picture, right? Of the world. Military, trade, data. This is, growth without resilience is fragility, right? Are we in a place where we can hold tight? So what I need us to understand is that what doers can do, what we can do, just understanding all the things that we have, what's in afoot as we get ready to roll into legislative session, and our eyes will be on our laws. But I just need to y'all to remember that for what's happening on the larger scale, they don't got to change our laws. They just have to change our minds. So what can doers do? The first thing I want you to understand, doer, is do not be free distribution for lies, right? Do not be, and I have to consider that myself as a person with a platform, is stop. Do not be free distribution for lies. The second thing is we have to build a real community offline, right? What does that look like? And that's, I'm going to underline this. I need you all to start building communities offline. Isolation, it accelerates harm because you're not connected, because connection will slow things down. So how do you connect with people? Building a real community offline. You do not want to live in your hole. That can make things, you see people you hear about people getting radicalized so quickly. So again, connection, right? Making those connections offline are so important. I need you to start building those real communities. The last and third thing I think you need to do is just preparedness for adulthood, right? Like, don't be paranoid. That's not the goal here. Is you got to start preparing. We have to prepare ourselves for this different kind of adulthood. It's not what your mama went through. It's not what your grandma went through. It's not what your daddy or your granddaddy went through. This is very different. So walk away from paranoia and start preparing for this adulthood as we know it. Leadership. And I know this isn't sexy talk, right? Like, this isn't housing, this isn't juvenile justice, this isn't gun violence, or these aren't the sex or the economy as it is right now. My biggest concern is that we have none of those things, because the great power competition has put us at a point where we can't even see that we are no longer America. We are no longer the United States. So I need us to understand something. Leadership right now is not just about a vibe, about how people make you feel. It is about clarity. It is about continuity and discipline. I need you as a doer to know your operating area. What's your, as we would call it, our AOR, our area of operation. Know what requires immediate attention in your own corner of the world. Know what information prevents crisis, because silence is what is being weaponized right now. And I can tell you that I feel it even as a legislator amongst legislators, is that the silence. There's a quote by Martin Luther King that said, "It will not be the words of my enemies that I will remember, but the silence of my friends." And so you've got to know your area. You've got to know what requires immediate attention. You've got to know what information prevents crisis, because your silence will weaken us. Right. But I also said, what is those three things I said? Don't be free distribution for lies. You need to build a real community offline. And then we need to prepare for the adulthood that we have right now without paranoia. I find myself transitioning into a hyper state of paranoia sometimes too. Like, oh my God, oh my God, I feel it. But that's because history, guys, history. Every district in the Commonwealth is connected in some way. Every single district. So whether you're in District 1 or you're in District 93, we are all connected. And all of the states, just as every district line in the Commonwealth of Virginia is connected, every single state in these United States is connected. And the thing that we need right now more than ever, and shout out to BZ for this, the thing that we need right now more than ever, and I hear people asking for it, is that we need a simple message that is true. We need a really simple message that is true, not a message from the left, not a message from the right, but a message that says, and just clearly, we are the United States of America. And very clearly own that. This is, again, not a message from the right or the left, but we are the United States of America. This is not a slogan. It is our decision. We decide that we are the United States. And again, I have to say this, BZ, shipmate, that's why this matters. And that's what he's been at my neck about. The world is testing seams, right? They're testing these seams, pulling at seams, and Virginia is one of them. So we have to understand, this is why geopolitics matters so much, is that we have to know the terrain. We have to tell the truth. We have to protect our critical infrastructure, but most importantly, we have to stay united. Got it? I felt like I needed to go through this morning as I look at the way the world is moving and what we can and can do for each other. I'm going to go to the comment section. I see the comment section sort of blowing up over here. So I'm going to walk back. Yep. I'm going to walk back a bit just to get into. So I see Kevin, as always. Thank you for being here, Kevin. Appreciate you. Kevin says Virginia isn't just another state. It's a geopolitical powerhouse. Virginia sits at the intersection of national security, international economics, and global tech infrastructure. Precisely. That is that is why it matters. These things matters for Virginia. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Kevin. I'll come back to the other things. Actually, I will keep going. He also says geopolitical awareness plus civic engagements equal influence, right? This is a war of influence. Remember, they don't have to change our laws. They just have to change our minds. Yep. Policy decisions get made without your voice. And we're going into session. I saw somebody over on Instagram say that I love this. And I love the fact that you say we can. Y'all might have thought, oh boy, it was cheesy for we can, but like, look, we can influence, you can influence legislative rules on energy. That's absolutely, we can. I love this. Come on, Kevin. We can shape educational workforce and energy. We can hold elected officials accountable to constituents' needs at the federal and state, right? Like that's the real part here. Yep, we need to get it. We got to get off the couch. And that's the deal, right? Is I'm not shaming. We're all doing what's within our what's in our bandwidth, right? Getting off the couch may mean picking up the phone and making a phone call. I know that the way that we connect is very different, but we do need these communities that are outside of online. That is going to be the thing that shifts the tide. It is going to be the thing that shifts the tide completely. So I'm going back and I'm looking. Military. Someone just brought up the military operations in South America. Looks like the first step. Probably the best way to prevent war long term. Yeah. The U.S. and I see I'm looking at the comments on Instagram. The U.S. is moving into Central and South America. Yeah, it's a problem to prevent China from moving it, which would be an end game for us. Yeah, well, if you know the geopolitical landscape, right, and this is for doers to understand that not only is China have a very big stake in South and Central America, but also in Africa, and there's a long game here, right? The goal is global superpower. Way back, probably 5 to 7 years ago, maybe it was 5, maybe 6, something like that. 6 or 7 years ago, China completed which was called their 200-year plan. So they had a 200-year plan to pretty much become a global superpower, to hold all the manufacturing. There was and I encourage you, I'm like trying to looking at the time, but I encourage you, look up the Chinese 200-year plan that they just completed flawlessly. It was discipline. It was understanding that thing that I said, that all of those powers in the great competition, that is China, that is Russia, that is North Korea, that is Iran, all of those countries understand that they don't have to want the same thing, but they know that if they weaken America, a weak America is easier to conquer. And that is a part of the work that I need us to understand, and where Virginia fits in all of this. It's an intelligence war. Got it. Yep. Yeah, more Black Warrior Muddy Lace and more back. Yeah, building real communities. Cousin, that is the thing. If you took one thing away, do not be a conduit for lies. Build a real community. That is the biggest. If I'm asking you to walk away, to walk away with something, right? It's that piece that, look, you have a responsibility. We have a responsibility here to build community, real ones that are not just online, which thank you for it leads to we're having lots of different advocacy days up at the Capitol. I appreciate that. Yeah, we can repair. David James says we can repair our culture. Our strength comes from our differences. Right and left are essential for healthy communities. Both are important. Things fall apart when it swings far either way. Yes. Yeah. And that, for some people, that sounds like, shit of the bull. And that is not the case. The united, I think we have to choose it. We have to just make our decision and say yes or no. Do we want to be the United States of America? And we are not America, because America is also Central and South America. We are the United States of America, and really own it as it's not a slogan. It is a decision that we make on a daily basis with our differences, that we are the United States. It is simple. It is true. Right? Again, preparing ourselves for the adulthood that we're living in right now. I am always honored and grateful for you all taking the time to come and sit. This is the first day of the year. And no, I don't want to start it with anxiety, but I want to start with what we need to do as a country living in this commonwealth for the greater good so that we still have a commonwealth to connect with, right? So, how are you going to build a real community offline? What do you want to do? I think Cousin It just said Creatives on the Capitol is going to have a meetup. If you're anyone in a creative industry on January 7th at 5 p.m. at Caffeine, you can come and engage and look at how we do policy there, because here it is the war that we're walking into is going to require the creatives. Because when we talk about the art of getting hearts and minds, it is the creative industries that are able to do that. Conversations are easier around a dinner table, most cases. The sign, the I am man sign, is a form of art that created and built a movement that pulled people together. The rainbow, right? I think of some people think of LGBTQ plus. I think of the Rainbow Push Coalition, right? That brought all of these different, that brought all the Rainbow Coalition, that was brought together. Fred Hammond brought all these the Irish, the Caucasian, European American folks, Black folks, Hispanic folks, brought all these people together under this thing that created a real community offline. Get back to that. If there's one thing you can do as a doer this year, right? I'm here for it. I'm here for you. But more importantly, excited about what we're going to do, right? Because we cannot do it all. We are doers that delegates, but we're doers that get it done. All right. I'm looking, making sure that I didn't miss anything. I know this was a heavy one this morning, but I just want y'all to understand, like, I am always honored to serve. And will always come from a place of hopefully what you feel is truth and love, right? We're using our expertise to do better. If you are having a meetup, invite me. I'm going to be in session Monday through Friday. There's always virtual opportunities. If you have those things, I can do my best. I'll always try, but that it's okay to start building community. If you are a veteran, we meet up the first Mondays of the month at 7:30 at the High Cup on Princess Anne. That is also a veteran-owned business. So come on out this next Monday coming up. We meet there. We stay for about an hour, and then everybody goes on their way. That is an opportunity for the veterans folks. I really want to start this Not on My Watch group. I love that you guys are putting opportunities. If you've got opportunities, Cousin It already said creatives, let's go. If you want to come to the Creatives on the Capitol meetup to help understand, I need to post that too. Kevin says, join the Virginia Commission. Yeah, join a commission. We're going to need that. And as the new administration comes in, they'll be considering what kinds of people do they want on their commission. They'll be doing boards appointments. What's your thing? I want to get you engaged. Let's get solid. Which I love. Hold on. Just as Kevin put this up, David James says, side note, I applied to be a citizen service advisor trainee. Probably I've been self-employed for 25 years. LOL. Love it though. I want to know more about this citizen service advisor trainee. This is great. And again, it's about plugging in. What community will you build outside of offline? And shout out to all of you guys who've been sending me all these emails about the issues going on, just keeping me in the know. I can't tell you enough. And I'm not a cop out. It's not a cop out, but I don't even need to say that because it's a fact. I can't tell you enough how my biggest flex is you all. Like, you are the biggest flex that I have because you keep me in the know. You keep me engaged. You keep me understanding what's happening in communities that I might not always see and I might not always touch. Right? That is the real. So gratitude for you. This has been the Morning Dew for certified doers just like you. I'm Jackie Glass. I am a mama. I am a Navy veteran. I am a certified doer, and I'm the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 93rd District, and I am always honored to serve with you, for you, and by you. Until next time, see you, doers. Doers get more done. Don't sue me, Home Depot. And I hope to see y'all at the Capitol or something. I love it. Oh, wait. Oh, I love this. He says, I would have a dream job. Oh, you're going to work for Norfolk Cares? Yeah. Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, y'all know I have a hard time getting on. Let me tell you something. Working at Norfolk Cares, these are some of the greatest, loveliest minds in the city. Neighborhood engagement, Norfolk Care. These are the people. So I need you to be the best at that. Okay. David James, as you go on, he's going to go work for Norfolk Cares. Everybody, if you're in Norfolk, don't mess with David James. Okay. He's just trying to be a good neighbor. He's been self-employed for 25 years. Y'all know how hard it is to get back to the workforce. All right. Until next time. Hey, listen, I'm about to pick up the phone. Two people that I know are on my list. Cache. Oh, it's so funny. We're just talking about military and stuff and things. Yes. And married too. Love you. I will talk to y'all soon. Until again, I already did all of that. Oh, just an application. Oh, do you need a letter of recommendation? Oh, let me say this. If you know a high school senior, junior, or whatever that is trying to apply for college that needs a letter of recommendation, do not hesitate to reach out to my office. Here's what I'm going to ask as we get into this college application season and stuff and things is they need to send me a write-up of themselves, and they're gonna have to spend 5 to 10 minutes talking to me before I write their letter of recommendation. So you can email my office, go to deliajackieGlass.com, or you can go to deljglass@house.virginia.gov. All the stuff and things, all the sites have it where you can reach out to our office. Then we can help with the letter of recommendation. I am always honored to do that. It's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, so let me spend my privilege. All right. Be kind, be safe, be well. Until next time. Take care, y'all.